Hi, this is Dr. Andy, host of Diary of a Quizmaster. So, this channel is largely about curiosity. It's about questions. It's about lifelong learning. Every week, I give a bunch of friends and strangers an opportunity to make relevant once again topics that they've learned in school. I ask questions about history, literature, current events, pop culture, including movies, television, and music, as well as questions about sports, books and authors, internet culture, and science. Over the course of my many years as a quizmaster, I've adopted an attitude that would seem foreign to the students that I've been teaching at UC Davis over the last 36 years. Because when I'm in the classroom, my classes are about actions, what sort of activities can we engage in. My class is not a stenography opportunity, but rather an opportunity for my students to engage in activities that allow them to test the actual writing and literary skills that I've been teaching them in the class. It's also student-centered rather than professor-centered, because I want to remind them that they are the stars of a class that they take with me. And my class depends upon lots of feedback. I also welcome questions. I welcome objections. I welcome pushback. All of this is different from what I welcome as quizmaster. Because as you may know, rule number 4 is that my answers are correct, and rule number 5 is that there's no arguing with the quizmaster. A great amount of opportunities for learning on behalf of the leader of a learning enterprise would be lost if we were all to have that attitude. And I'm pleased to say that over my 36 plus years of teaching at UC Davis, I've adopted an attitude that has allowed me to learn every class, every week, for 36 years from UC Davis students. I've also learned from students at American River College, where I taught when I was a fresh PhD, while also teaching at UC Davis. And also in those early years, back in the 1990s, I taught a number of MCAT preparation students. I also TA'd for a bunch of classes. And then I get to interact with students as a mentor of different clubs and groups, and also as the originator of the Poetry Night reading series, where undergraduates and graduate students come to read their work. But primarily thinking about my own classes, I admit that I may have learned as much from my students as my students have learned from me. Well, on July 1st, 2027, I will conclude my formal teaching at the University of California, Davis. No, it's true. I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire from teaching at UC Davis, and I'll engage in a number of other activities, including activities that people who are fans of the pub quiz will continue to appreciate and participate in. And so you're probably wondering, Dr. Andy, what sort of project are you going to put together to commemorate your final year of teaching, your last 365 days of teaching, in a career where you've taught thousands and thousands of UC Davis students? Well, thank you for asking that question. I was hoping you would ask it, and that is this. I'm going to aspire to create, over this next year, 365 short videos in which I relay stories, anecdotes, and lessons that I've learned from the students that have populated my classes from the fall of 1990 to the present. Now, there will be a certain recency bias with the students that I choose to profile and tell stories about, because I must admit that my active memory of my experiences with students, those memories are somewhat stronger from the 2020s than they are from the 1990s. That's understandable. That said, I've been going through some old rosters, remembering some names, and thinking about stories, lessons, and whimsical little vignettes that concern the students that I've taught over these last 36 years. So, I hope that you'll tune in. I hope that we can make this relevant to the larger overarching goals and purposes of this YouTube channel, which I'm going to call Diary of a Quizmaster. This Quizmaster, unlike just about any other, has been teaching at one of the top public universities in the United States of America for almost 4 decades. Therefore, this Quizmaster has some stories to tell. Some laudatory stories, laudatory only, I will quickly add, about the students that I've had the good fortune to teach. I'm deeply grateful to them, and I'm grateful to you for tuning in and making it to the end of this video. I encourage you to like this if this is the sort of thing you like, and who wouldn't like Dr. Andy showing appreciation for his students? And then subscribe if you want to keep up with the stories, the anecdotes, and the crazy memory game that Dr. Andy's going to be attempting as he tells you 365 stories of students he's taught during his career at the University of California, Davis. Thank you.